start getting out and working on just recall in general? Is that kind of where your biggest challenge is right now?
So no, he comes pretty well on the recall. But we haven't had major distractions. I've kept him pretty secluded, but we'll have dogs behind fences and he whimpers and freaks out. But he is using the step back recall. He is looking for me for that comfort, but it doesn't. The whimpering and whining doesn't stop.
So like, and I actually want to hash this out before we get closer to the dog, just to make sure, like, if the other dog's there, that I can show you exactly what to do.
Yeah.
But so we're approaching a dog.
Yes.
You do a step back recall. His focus is on you, but he's like,
yeah, it's
just
on me for
anticipation.
a second. Yeah, it's on me for a second. Then he'll stay right by me, but he's looking around like he's doing now. He's scanning. His body is shaking. He's whimpering still because he knows it's still there.
Yeah, and that's really, he's adrenalized. The adrenaline is the shaking. He's like, I'm so excited that there's another dog.
Right.
And with him, that excitement is like conflicting, right? Because he's a little bit nervous about it.
Yes.
He's also excited. Like some dogs he plays, some dogs he's angry at, stuff like that.
Right.
And so the name of the game, so focus is always going to be the enemy of adrenaline.
Right.
And so if you're getting like quasi-focus or like half-focus, that's what we need to work on.
Yes.
Because like, it sounds like you do that step back recall and he's like, okay, I'm paying attention.
Right.
But like you lose it pretty quick.
Yep, lose it pretty quick.
Like if I do here, and he's with me, and then he turns around and he's whining at that, here, I'm gonna do it again. And really, you know, I might do it 10, 12, 15 times. Really, I'm gonna do it as many as I need to.
Right.
Because with dogs, focus is, like with humans, often focus is internal, right? Like I can focus on whatever I want. I might focus on you, I might focus on a memory, I might focus on whatever. With a dog, focus is all about line of sight.
Yeah.
So where he's looking at, it really dictates his focus.
Okay.
So if he's like, all right, I'll pay attention to you, I feel good, I'll pay attention over there, I need to get the attention back on me. So if we're building focus, focus is always built through teaching that spatial awareness. So like, all right, so like I say, if I was doing it now, and suddenly he's whining over there because there's a dog over there, I'm going to step away to create that spatial awareness, like, you lost attention, do that quick recall. Okay, you don't have to sit, I didn't tell you to sit. He just puts himself into stay behavior, doesn't he?
If you wander, he'll tend to wander with you.
Gotcha, okay.
At the end of the leash, he'll go.
You're funny. And I know I think he's smelling dogs over here, because and even if they're not out, he's probably still smelling them. But anyways, my guess is what we need to do there is commit to that step back recall a bunch of times, so that he recognizes anytime I'm putting inappropriate focus over there, it's not going to be good. Why don't we kind of wander? Okay.
And then that dog over here, he sounds mean, and that's where dogs over on this side, he'll whimper and whine, but that one over there, he starts growling.
So if that dog's intense, he's like, is that dog always out or just sometimes out?
Sometimes.
Gotcha.
So, but when they're both on each side, then I'm like, I gotta get out of here, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, so when they're on each side, what the dog really needs to learn is, like, you're the center of the universe at that point. And so what'll happen is that first, like when we get this step back recall method down, he'll be like looking at you, and he'll be like anxious because he's not dumb. He knows that there's dogs on either side, but with repetition, he'll learn to like look at you and just like be calm and recognize, like, okay, mom's got this under control. So anyways, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna work recall in general because that's kind of the stage that we're at with him.
Okay.
And if these dogs come out, great. If not, you know, we'll just working on recall is going to be a huge help for that. But what we want to do at this point, so we're about halfway through, and so at this point, I usually want to get to the point to where we're not using the leash hardly at all.
Right.
Well, indoors, we're going to start weaning it off.
And I'm comfortable with that.
And then outdoors, I want to work you towards where you feel comfortable with like an off leash at a park or at the on a trail or something like that. Is he a pointer? Oh, that's right. I keep seeing him point.
I know, he has the leg.
You pointed at something?
Every time I do the weight command on the curve.
Really? You're pointing out curves? Look, Mom, it's a curve. And so anyways, what we need to do starting now is start eliminating like the meaning of the leash.
Yeah.
Because up until now, the leash has meant a lot. It taught him what recall meant, it taught him what sit meant, it taught him what down meant, it taught him like all these things. But the problem is if we stay at that point, it's like it handicaps him because he's always like anticipating a little leash pull or a little help for a sit or something like that. And so what we need to do, like indoors, and we'll work on this here in a second, even though we're outdoors, but indoors, you're gonna use a lot more body language. Like it's gonna be sit and like, you know, or like place, he gets off his place and then like move towards him, stuff like that. With this, I'm gonna leave the leash on just for now, and maybe we'll keep it on the whole session, we'll see, but like, but I'm not gonna use it.
Yeah.
Unless it was like absolutely necessary. He's definitely not coming. And so all I'm gonna do is what I wanna do is see just how well he does everything. Here, come on buddy. Here, he's like, I don't know you well enough. Here, good boy. So there he needed a little bit of help. He does it good for you, huh?
Yeah, yes.
And that's what matters.
Like, go.
And I think he was like, I'm confused. Here, good boy. So there I didn't use the leash at all, he just came.
Here.
Good.
Good boy.
Good.
Good boy.
Now, so what I would do here, let's add this little method to it. So what I would do is I would have food ready. So he comes, because we want him more focused on you. And I would call this like smoothing off a little rough edge, right? Because like the whole behavior was there. He was distracted, you said come, no correction or anything, he just came right away. All right, good. But I call it a little bit of like faux obedience, where he comes and he's like, I'm not gonna pay attention. Yeah. So like I'm being obedient, but I'm not like, we're not together on this one. And so there's two things I think that'll help fix that and take his his focus to another level. So one of those is as he comes in, if he anticipates some food, I think that'll help. Okay. Although you mentioned he grabs it and he's already looking away.
Yeah.
And so what I would do is I would have the food ready, you know, I give the food, and if he's just boom, like mentally checking out, like, and there's a difference. Like if he just comes up and he's like, you know, calmly, he just like looks around, like that's one thing. But when he comes in and he mentally checks out and he starts like scanning, you just wherever he is, so like that, I would just step right here. You know, and he comes back and now he's here, and he comes back, and I'm just gonna, and each time hopefully trying to give him a little bit of food, so that he recognizes like the duality there, that like you have to come, but also this is a good thing, pay attention. Because yeah, like he's doing everything, I'm just seeing more adrenaline than I want. And so I'll bet there's a lot of places we could do off leash, but I'm worried about it in this session. I think next session we might even come back here and do it completely off leash. Here, good boy. So I'm not using a leash, I'm just using body language. I'm kind of creating a vacuum for him to fill. Okay, come on. And there, he's becoming so much more intent on me.
Yeah.
And as that focus is there, the whining's not. Now he's acting,
Avoiding.
He's a little bit avoidant.
Yes.
And so, I don't mind avoidance because from this mindset, we'll, here, good boy. Here. So the second I'm getting that, I'm doing it again. And I'm getting him right back to me. Here. Good boy.
Have you used the collar at all?
Yeah, so I'm using on every second here.
Okay.
So what I kept doing is anytime I didn't have what I was comfortable with his focus, just pop back another few feet, do it again. So call
Here. Good boy. Here.
that itchy buddy.
Good boy. You're so good.
So now we've got our threshold at 30 feet, whatever that is. So we got to start crunching that down, so we'll get closer. And so you see, as we approach, he's trying to stay avoidant, but he's also like self-regulating. Like he's not elevating, he's not like whining, he's not like starting to lunge, he's not running towards it, which is all stuff that he would have done before. And so now he's trying to say, how do I stay close while not like offending the rules here? And his solution is, I'm gonna just, oh, let me give that back to you. And his solution is, well, I'm just gonna be avoidant. And so he's not dumb, he knows the dog's right there. And so I think the solution to fix the whining is a bigger commitment to the method.
Yes.
Now, when he's getting behind you, that's him looking to you for help. And so just keep encouraging him out to your left. In fact, right, why don't you ask him to sit?
Sit.
Good. And the only reason I say that is because sometimes if we leave a dog in limbo, like he's like, I don't know what to do over there. I'm nervous. I don't know what to do. And so he just stands there. It just perpetuates this nervousness. Okay. Yeah. So if we give him like a sit or a down. Okay. But like, all right. So let's say this was your neighborhood. Is this the part where he's still like often whining?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is really good compared to last night.
Good. Okay. And so what we need to look at is what is the difference. The difference is I really stuck to it.
Yeah.
You know, I kept like boom, 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 ping ponging all over.
Sure.
We made sure to do food.
Right.
And we're making sure that even on that second one that I'm adding a little bit of stimulation. Because if you recall, one of the keys of the step back recall in the beginning, it's here, you know, even though he might be coming, I'm still adding that second little, you know, that stimulation on the second one, because it adds like that physical help. And then we're super tiny, we're low on the level, but it's enough to like insist that he comes, insist that he comes, insist that he comes. And that way, that's where we see him self-regulating. There's like something 500 yards over there.
I know. You can see it.
Yeah. He's like kids playing.
I can see the stock here.
In fact, why don't you get closer?
Okay.
Yeah, so what we're seeing here is the
There's a second fence
yeah.
way over there. This is the other thing he does. He's all over the place. Every time he sees a dog, he's got
to tell him what's up.
Hi, puppy! You are pretty!
So, in fact, call him now.
Here. Come on. Here. Matt, here.
He's like,
Good boy.
go to the camera.
Good boy.
So there's two ways that we use stimulation with the recall. If I'm doing just regular recall, I will give him a second to think about it. It's going to be the timing like here on the second one. When we're doing step back recall, like I say, it's almost unfair. It's here. You know, on that second one, I'm already holding down the stem. And I think that's a big difference on why he's not reacting right now. Yeah. Is because he knows, you know, it's becoming much more reflexive for him. All the building blocks are here. The recall, he totally gets it. You know, he totally understands how to do all this. We just need to tweak those few little things. Yeah. And so like I say, right now, even if we feel like he's going to be obedient, because we're on such a low level, I do it now. Here. Yeah, and what you want to do is jot away real quick. So like if he starts elevating, you know, just pop back real quick. Good boy. Good boy. And you can see right there was a nice little thing to where yeah, like he was calm, the dog barked, his ears went up, but then he just he went right back down. Yeah. And so we're not allowing him to elevate because of that like reflex. Yeah. We talk about building a reflex?
Yeah, a little bit. But it was at the very beginning. You were kind of giving me an overview.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I always talk about, in fact, I do it now here. And are you using stim on that second one?
I only said it once.
And so like I say, we want to do a second one on this one.
Twice?
Yeah, because what's going to happen is, well, yeah, so let me kind of repeat what I always say this. I don't remember who I say it to, so I don't know if I've said it to you. Good boy. So let's say I came up from behind you and I said here and I flicked you immediately. Like here flick, here flick, here flick, over and over and over with that type of timing. Right. As time goes on, I just say here and you flinch. All I've done is flick you, but you know, it's created a reflex. Right. Because your brain only has a split second to respond to that outside stimuli. So, so it's reflexive. And with reflexive things, you know, we don't even think, we just do, right? Right. Now, if I switch that timing by 1 second and it's here, flick, here, flick, the behavior will be known. So like I'll come up behind you, I'll say here, and you'll like move away. Sure. But you won't reflexively move away. You'll think about it and like, oh, leave me alone. You know, like that's annoying. Yeah. And so it won't be reflexive. It'll be a learned behavior. So that's, yeah. So like I say, you know, in order to create that reflex, it's all about timing. Okay. So when it comes to this dog barking, I want that reflexiveness. Okay. And so even if I feel like he might come, I still just want that little flick. Okay. And that's all we are, because we're still on like level 10, we're super low. Right. And so it's here. So even if I feel like you might come, I'm gonna add that second one. Okay. Because I'm gonna do that for a few hundred repetitions, and then the time's gonna come. In fact, it's already happened today. Right. Where we're approaching, he thinks about it, and then he checks himself. Yeah. But the only way he's gonna check himself is based on reflex, not based on just like, oh, I know what it means to hear. Okay. Does that make sense? Yes. And so it's like I say, as you're practicing step back recall in your neighborhood with stuff like this over the next little bit, we just want to make sure that, that even if we anticipate that he's going to come, it's still here. And the time's going to come when like we cut out that component because we're not going to need to because he's just going to be paying attention. But for now, So let's approach again. Let's get a little bit closer to our target, our trigger. These people are going to love us.
I know, right?
Dog go.
He knows there's no threat. He's way over there.
Yeah. The dog went in.
He's back there.
Oh, is he?
Yep. Hi, puppy!
He's just not getting any reaction from us. So he doesn't.
The dog. He's up against the house. It's a retriever. Here.
Good.
Good boy. Good boy.
But does that make sense? That little tweak?
Yeah.
Really, that little tweak is the reason why he's being 10 times better right now.
Okay.
I mean, part of it's like, I'm adding food.
Sure.
And part of it's like I'm doing it a little bit more, like I'm popping back really quick.
Okay.
But the main reason that he's now able to be like right up next close, to the fence and stuff and not be losing it and whining is because he's starting to make the choices based on the reflex that we're building in.
Okay.
And one thing that I say it a lot, but the more proactive the dog is in fixing his mistake, the sooner he won't make that mistake. And so with him like self-checking over and over and over,
right,
he's getting really proactive.
Okay.
And so does this make sense, just that little tweak?
Yeah, no, this is fantastic.